What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Superherocuts. Here we are. Tonight, we're going to get into Daredevil Born Again. The Russos talking about RDJ, Dr. Doom. Lex Luthor will have a suit. What? Jesse Plemons, rumored to be cast as Beast. The Void, Thunderbolts. What makes Green Lanterns have the best lore in DC? George Lucas canceled show for Star Wars. Marvel Studios talking about developing a Magneto solo project, and Hugh Jackman might not be returning to the MCU as Wolverine. Let's get into it. I'm your boy Jerry, aka The Watcher. My boy Stevie, how you doing?
What's up, dog? How are you? I'm here, man. Let's get it.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Glad to be back.
Of course, bro. Sometimes, bro, it feels like we haven't talked in like 2 weeks, like on the pod, and this week felt like that. And also, what I also love is that there was not a lot of news that last week, so it's going to show who the real content creators are. But You see us here every week. So question for you, man. Daredevil Born Again came out last week. There were 2 episodes. Obviously, we both watched them. We texted about them. How do you feel about Daredevil Born Again so far? Obviously, it's only 2 episodes, but
I love it. You know, I think there's like one main complaint, and people are like, it's not enough action. I think that, I wish there was some action in the second episode, but whatever. It was incredible. Awesome to have Daredevil back. I think that they knew that there wasn't going to be a lot of action in the first 2 episodes. They opened the first episode up with amazing action. We got some awesome shots. I mean, the church behind him, the aerial shots, that was sick. And I think that they knew there wasn't going to be a lot because I feel like they did that with Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the first episode. Like they set the bar really high with the action. That was a little different because that was like some Air Force type stuff. This is street level action. So obviously it's a different playing field. But I'm confident we're going to get more action in the Daredevil show. They're obviously setting up the premise for the rest of the show with Bullseye, Fisk as mayor, and the death of Foggy Nelson. So I thought it was incredible. I do want to talk a bit about the streaming numbers performance, but let's hear what you thought.
Yeah, bro. I think that the first 2 episodes were great. Obviously, one of my biggest complaints of the Netflix show that there was no suit, and Disney or Marvel Studios kind of put my foot in my mouth because I actually enjoyed the content without the suit. And I do think this, bro. New York, nothing beats New York, bro. Like when it comes to these movies or in shows, when these shows are in New York, it's different. Like seeing them walk around the city. But my highlight was Kingpin. His political campaign was amazing. And Vincent D'Onofrio, I mean, he was the highlight for me in these first 2 episodes. Seeing his progression as a character was amazing. Seeing how he literally like cooked that police police commissioner guy, because you know he got caught having an affair, has a whole family like in PA. I thought that was hilarious. And then and the funny thing was like he bought a cheesesteak from the place that he used to go to with the girl. I'm like, yo, Kingpin's a savage. And I like how Vanessa has now taken over the operations. And it seemed like they're building Vanessa to be a little more menacing than what we think. I think she's going to be a savage in this show. And one of the theories that I have is I do think she's behind Foggy's death. I do. Sorry,
they're taking a lot from the Brian Bendis run of Daredevil. And there's also some Zdarsky, but I definitely see a lot of Brian Bendis in the show.
Yeah, bro. And I know you love that Kingpin stuff. I know you were like, dog. He was killing it.
Some of it felt very opening scene of the Batman, you know, the way the guy was watching the TV and the politics, you know, when the very first scene when it's when the mayor gets killed.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. It's awesome. And then what I also liked was, so I liked how I think that the time jump was done perfectly, how they jumped a year after Foggy's death and how we kind of didn't sit in Daredevil's depression. Like we're kind of in a place where, you know, he's kind of like doing his own thing. But I also love how they're and we all know that Karen and Foggy are apparently coming back. That's what the director said or whatever. But I do like how for the story they've separated them away, because I do feel like we're going to get a really good focus on just Matt Murdock as a character. And I think that for Daredevil Born Again, bro, that's kind of needed. And obviously the way that the episode, oh yeah. I wanted to also ask you about this. How do you feel about the whole vigilante thing and the whole White Tiger situation? Did you like how all that was set up?
The White Tiger, I love. The Bendis storyline around the White Tiger is so similar. Like it's 100% inspired from that comic, which I forget the exact details, but I know there was like a TV theft, like a pawn shop, and Hector he had retired the White Tiger, but for whatever reason that night he decided to go out in his suit. He was having problems with his wife, and he ended up taking the fall for it, and he went to trial. And if you haven't read the run from like 20 years ago, I don't really need to put a spoiler alert on it, but whatever. They end up convicting him, and it was like crazy. So yeah, I definitely think that's one of the things that makes me think they're taking a lot from the Brian Bendis run, which is awesome. Really cool story there. Yeah, I love it. I think that, and I wanted to say something about the suit. The suit, it's very textured, which I know from like footwear is, when they use like a cheap material, a lot of times they add texture to it because it hides the cheapness of the material. And not to say necessarily that the material is cheap, but sometimes like synthetics could look cheap, especially when it's all the same color. So I thought that was one of the reasons they added that, that metal looking texture to it, where it's like the slant or whatever you want to call it. I thought that was really cool. I can't wait to see the Punisher. I'm not such a fan of the storyline that they seem to be going down, which I mentioned to you. I just think that it's super politicized, and there are already people that are like, yay, Daredevil is kind of, echoing my politics, which, I don't want to see my politics echoed in my content either. I think that it turns fans off. And of course, there's one side that's like, oh, well, if I don't hear my politics, then I'm turned off. And it's like, so ridiculous. You can't win.
Yeah.
But it's annoying. And if you don't know, during the height of like BLM, cops adopted the Punisher logo. And of course, the pro BLM people lost their minds, and they pushed Marvel. There was two campaigns against Marvel on this one. There was get rid of the Punisher logo, like change the design of the logo. And then there was a crazier one, which was like retire the character. And Marvel Comics did change the Punisher logo for a period of time. So they have some history to caving to that crowd on this issue. And, listen, I'm not saying it can't be a cool storyline, but I don't like when I'm basically saying, yeah, it has propaganda, but the story was good. I don't like coming to that conclusion.
Yeah. I think that storyline could be adapted to fit in the politics of the world that is in. And my hope, given from the stuff in the past, is, I hope that that's what it is, and that is not trying to send a message that it's just, you know what I'm saying? But, but the logo's so fire, by the way. Oh my God. Yeah. I just love the logo. All set aside. The logo is just amazing. I'm not gonna lie. The Punisher, like no one talks about the Punisher. It does have one of the best logos of all time for a superhero, just off topic. But I did like the idea of, White Tiger was set up by fighting a cop that was faking as a robber. I thought it was really like different how they, did different. The other thing that they focused on, bro, in this show was Murdock's super hearing. Like they use that a lot in the show.
Yeah.
And I feel like they were using that to really dive into the fantastical sides of of the Daredevil hero, showing that he does have superhuman abilities. So they're really going hard on that. And but how did you feel about the ending when he went into the witness's home, told him to leave, and then he was about to get shot in the head by those two cops, and he just beat the crap out of him?
Yeah,
That scene was insanity.
That was insane. That was insane. Oh,
Do you think he killed those guys? Like, do you think they're dead?
I hope not. I really hope not, because that would just make it like, I don't know. I just he's not a killer, like,
Yeah.
So I hope not. I love the modern comics, like, like when Spidey has Spidey sense, there's kind of like small little like lightning bolt electricity that looks like it's coming out of his head. But for Daredevil, it's like a bunch of circles radiating from his head. It's really cool. I don't know how, if they would like, it wouldn't look good in a show like this. But it is so cool. Like, I love that style that they use. But yeah, I hope not. Like, also, I don't think so. The reason I don't think that Daredevil is going to leave those cops dead is because I think Marvel is going to want to continue that ideological, philosophical storyline between Matt and Frank, Daredevil and Punisher. And I think that would, I don't know. I don't think that if you make Daredevil a killer, like, how do you really do that?
Yeah. Question. Do you think, I'm not sure if you texted me this or if I saw this, do you think it's possible that Vanessa gets killed? And that's what turns Kingpin?
That would be crazy.
Like, that would be out of left field.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Vanessa, by the way, has like, she in the Bendis run for some time, she was kind of operating for Fisk when Fisk was away.
Yeah,
so,
as she is now in the in the show.
Exactly.
Yeah, and by the way, that actress, she's amazing. By the way, I mean, she played the role well. And talk about like aura. Remember when he walked in and said her name and everybody just got up and walked out?
Yeah,
man, Yo, Vince D'Onofrio is such a good. He just plays that role, bro, like to a T, man. Oh my gosh,
perfect casting.
It is, bro. It is. So yeah, I am impressed with both episodes, and I'm excited to see where it goes in. And that is true because in the trailer, we do see him and Punisher kind of argue about ideology again. So, if he does kill, it's like, how does that help? You know what I mean? But he did bang their heads pretty hard, and that's our question. But they got to be at least knocked out. They got to be at least knocked out.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe, now that I think about it, I guess they could have him kill and be feeling really guilty about it, and have Frank be like, "You did the right thing, Red. You did the right thing, Red." I don't think that's the storyline they're going to go down. I'm just saying they could still do that and play that storyline out.
That would be funny, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say you did the right thing, Red?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, Punisher's funny, bro. He's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, Daredevil, I'm hyped. Tomorrow, watch party, be there, be squared.
Real quick, did you see people talking about the streaming numbers?
Yes. 7.1 million is bad.
Bro, that's bad. Like, really bad. And this is a show that had a lot of hype, that had a lot of fans, that was very successful. And have some people given up on Marvel? I don't know.
I think it's more people have given up on Disney Plus than Marvel. And you and I were talking about this last week about how Marvel canceled a lot of like they were trying to build a whole animation house with their Disney princesses, and all of those princess projects got canned and canceled. Even the Little Mermaid 2, which did 800 million. That's even not happening. Like, they're not doing a second film. Yeah. And I think that Disney right now, yes, they're obviously still going to make their bread from parks. Like, if streaming doesn't work out, they're still going to be good financially, but as I told you, or as we have all said before, they've just taken so many liberties that a lot of fans are just done with Disney Plus, and a lot of people just aren't happy with the service in general. And I thought that it would change with the ESPN Plus thing, because and now that they're streaming and now that they're pairing the UFC with the ESPN Plus, I do think we're going to see a massive shift in subscribers based off of that. Just because, you know, Dana White, one of my favorite CEOs, he is killing it with the UFC, by the way. But you know, I think that from a content standpoint, man, they are hurting. And
I don't think that, like, it's good for Disney Plus and it might help them with their budget. I don't think it will, though, because number one, those subscribers aren't coming for Marvel. Number two, like the way businesses are ran typically are, you know, your budget and what you could spend is based on your subsidiary's revenue. So, for example, you know, if Daredevil brings in a ton of new subscribers and revenue, that revenue is not going towards, you know, a Frozen spin-off series.
100%.
However, sometimes, you know, some of those subsidiaries might need some help. So the Disney umbrella could help it out. Kind of similar to, like, you know, Federal helping out North Carolina or California after a wildfire or something like that. But, you know, I don't think the UFC partnership is going to benefit Marvel. And, you know, listen, the Daredevil should be a big winner for Disney Plus. And I think we have to talk about it because Captain America Brave New World, we thought it was a wild card. We thought it could go either way on this show. And listen, I don't think that the movie deserved to do as poorly as it did in box office. Having said that, the results are the results, period. And I don't think that Captain America Brave New World performed well. I mean, it's not what I think, it's fact. And now it looks like Daredevil's in some trouble. And this is a problem. This is a big problem. And I wasn't so worried from Brave New World, even though I really didn't sit well with me that it didn't do well. But now that Daredevil's not doing well, that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that a lot of and
they're
number one,
like, no shade to Vincent, but, you know, I saw he tweeted like, "Oh, I'm so happy for the cast and crew." Like, bro, what are you talking about?
bro. Yeah, he's going off on the internet. But and
you saw him say something else, or just that?
He's just been yapping in general, bro. Like, and they sent me the other tweet. I'm like, bro, come on, man, just shut up. You got to take the core and sweat approach, man. You got to let the work speak for itself. When a lot of people speak on their work, it doesn't help them, man. But I do think that with streaming in general, I just think streaming in general is in a weird place because Disney Plus, I think right now is just a failed operation, you know, and I use it a lot to rewatch Marvel stuff. You use it. I used to watch all Spider-Man and Marvel. I love it, but a lot of people don't see a use for it, you know. And to me, it doesn't make sense because, like, if you have kids, like, why wouldn't you see a use for it? But I don't know. And Netflix is king, and I just think that that's just the reality of it. And maybe they launched Disney Plus too late. I'm not sure. Maybe if you launched Disney Plus around the time of Civil War, maybe it would have helped. I'm not sure. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I don't really know. But, you know, when you have this big launch of Disney Plus, right? And your content in Marvel is not about your main character. The only main character you used was Wanda Maximoff, which as much as the show was largely viewed, most of those views weren't OG fans. You know what I mean? A lot of OG fans weren't as happy with Wanda, with WandaVision. And then you don't continue with other big shows. Like, I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier was big and it was viewed a lot, you know what I mean? But, like, you don't continue after that with other big characters. why do you think fans are still going to pay? And like, if we're talking about streaming services, people are going to watch Game of Thrones, bro. I like Game of Thrones has another show dropping this fall. You know, Amazon Prime, they got Reacher, and now that they have James Bond, all of the Bond movies are going to be on there. Prime they
already have all the Bond movies on Prime. They've been on Prime.
Facts. And then they have all of the Tom what's his name? Tom Ethan Hunt films. Like they have all of those on Prime. Yeah.
Oh, they do? I didn't know that. I thought that was
Paramount. Yeah. They go on and off. And off. And then if I go to Peacock, all of the Harry Potter movies are on there. All of the Twilight movies are on there. You know what I mean? Like Law and Order is on there, and Law and Order is a really big show. You know, my wife watches it. I know about 10 people that watch it. So, you know, when you look at yes, dude, it's so corny. Don't even give me. I will go on a 10-minute rant about it. But I hate that show. Really? But like when you look at the streaming landscape, there's so many like secreted, I guess, shows and properties that people have. Disney's just not winning, and I don't know why.
I also think the business model is starting to piss people off. I know it's pissing me off because when Netflix, like when Daredevil was first on Netflix, they would upload all the episodes and just let you binge it. Now, I think what's happening is now every company has every studio has a streaming service. So to have all the streaming services isn't as inexpensive as it once was, and the prices are going up. So I think people are watching what they want to watch and unsubscribing and resubscribing when there's new content that they want to watch.
Yep.
So when Disney Plus launches Daredevil, they are like, we'll give you 2 episodes for the first week, and then the rest you're going to get an episode a week. I think week 7 and 8, they're like doing another double again, but everything else is. And that's annoying. It's so annoying. The reason they do it is so you can't just watch it all in one night or a couple nights or whatever and only pay for 1 month. Now, if they release it over 10 weeks, you have to pay for 2.5 months. And it's like, it just impacts the experience. So I think that's part of it. Granted, that's not exclusive to Disney Plus. They're all pretty much doing that. I think Netflix is even doing it, but they're not as bad as everyone else. Some shows, they'll put all of them out. Some shows, they'll put half the season out. And then the next month, they'll put the second half, which I prefer that, actually. I would rather get 5 episodes of Daredevil 1 month and then 4 weeks later, give me another 5. I would much rather that. You know, maybe I'm unique in that one. I don't know. But I do think that the experience is being diluted on the weekly releases. Streaming, I think one of the things that made it so popular was that, like, you could binge shows. Like, that was completely new, 10 years ago or whatever. So, you know, and I think they're trying to be creative because they all need money. And, you know, they know everyone wants to watch – they thought everyone wanted to watch Daredevil. So, you know, 2.5 months for 7 million viewers, that's a lot of revenue. But, you know, I think it's a really bad sign that Daredevil is not putting up big numbers. Daredevil, I thought it was going to be the biggest Disney Plus drop, period.
I agree.
And there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype. So it's odd. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of marketing. Now, the next Marvel release is Thunderbolts. And people are saying the test screenings are going really well. It seems like it's actually a good movie. But how well is it going to do in box office? We don't know. And if Thunderbolts doesn't do well in box office, bro, that's a big problem. Like, you know,
but Thunderbolts is a risk. It is a risk. I mean, we got to be real. It is a risk that they don't need to take. Like Fantastic Four is an undeniable banger. Like it's just facts. And if Marvel needs undeniable bangers, Deadpool, Wolverine, undeniable.
But here's the thing: if Daredevil doesn't perform well, Captain America: Brave New World didn't perform well, And if Thunderbolts doesn't perform well, Fantastic Four being a banger doesn't absolve them of all those L's.
100%.
And that's a problem. We can't be going into 2026 with this big of a Marvel release calendar and only having one success. And when I say success, I mean number, metric, performance. I don't mean if it's good or bad. I mean it needs to perform.
Yeah. So I want to say a few things, and then I want to get to chat because TikTok right now is lit. Like we got so many people commenting right now. But first off, number one, let's as I say, let's put our YouTube hats on, you know, because we are YouTubers. Why are these streaming services treating their content like YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Like why are you treating it like cable, where it's a week to week thing? As you just said, the reason why people went to Netflix was because of the fact that all the episodes dropped and there was no commercials. That's the reason why Netflix blew up, because they were creating their own content, dropping them all at once and having no commercials. Second thing, Disney is stupid for not trying to get Daredevil Born Again on Netflix. I think that they should have found a way to put that show on both Disney Plus and Netflix. Now, I'm not sure how possible that is, but I think that is a avenue that they should have explored, because a lot of their fan base is still on Netflix, and I think that was a dumb decision, 100%, because they want everybody to come to Disney Plus.
It's
I get it.
The optics of it, like it's their flagship. They can't do that.
That's corny.
Like, yeah,
they should have
consider the optics. Nah, they can't do that. I get that, but you know, the other thing is, and people were talking about this for a while, like the content race. So when all these streamers came out, a lot of them, most of them aren't making any money. And all these studios are investing tons and tons into original new content. And the only ones that really had the money to do it was Netflix. So everyone was racing each other to put out more content. Most of it sucked and didn't bring in a lot of money. So I think that's the problem. And the other thing that's interesting, though, with Disney Plus is they didn't put out that much original content compared to other platforms. And like, I even had a comment I wrote under something. I forget what it was, but one of the things I wrote in it was Disney Plus never had this hype before. And the engagement on that tweet, like, was really strong. So it indicated a lot of people agreed with me. You know, so like, I think this is the most hyped Disney Plus show they've ever put out. And it's crazy to me that, like, did it do worse than Agatha, or is it like neck and neck with Agatha? Which is crazy, bro.
Let me see.
And I don't call it Agatha. I call it Gagatha. I shouldn't have said that, because I always just called it Gagatha and never said, like, I went out of my way to say it.
Yeah, Agatha streamed more. But hold on, boy. But that's 7 days. Hold on, because the 7.1 was 5 days.
Someone came at me on Threads one time for calling it Gagatha. He also said,
they don't
freedom of speech, because I don't think this did a really good job with Star Wars. So those are the kind of people you meet on Threads. Okay,
so Agatha. So there's actually no stat that they have for the first 5 days. They only have the first 7 days, which is 9.3, which I think Daredevil will probably end up at by tomorrow. I really do. I really
hope so, bro.
Yeah, but I do think that Daredevil. Sorry,
that's if Gagatha did more than Daredevil, bro, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah, I also do think that as the season builds up, more fans are going to watch it, though. Like, I really do believe that. And once the suit's back on and all that, I really do think fans are going to show. But it is a relatively slow start for the show. But yeah, man, I do think it sucks, and I do wish, man, that like the Netflix crowd is really big, and I wish that maybe they did a better way to get, you know, the crowd over there. But yeah, we'll see. All right, let's read some chats in here. We'll read the YouTube chats first, and we'll get to the TikTok chats. Martel, what's up, dog? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing all right. It was pretty good. Wonder what they're taking from the Born Again story, though. Kind of wished they called it like Daredevil Man Without Fear or something, mostly because they already adapted Born Again.
So I want to comment on this.
Excuse me.
I disagree. I think that most comic fans know that Disney, or not just Disney, Marvel reappropriates titles all the time, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's an adaptation. They did it with Secret Invasion. I'm not arguing that Secret Invasion was good. I'm just saying it's the same concept of the title. But I think the Born Again title served a purpose. It was like the show is born again, and we're bringing it back. So I think that was a clever nod to some OG Daredevil lore, while also basically saying it's a continuation of the Netflix show. And I think because it served the purpose, it's justified.
Yep. Oh, sorry, wrong. All right, let's see. Yeah, Disney Plus has been known for bad quality TV shows. I mean, we all saw She-Hulk. Bad show, man.
Everyone on Threads is playing mental gymnastics to convince you that She-Hulk was great. I had people tell me that She-Hulk is the future of the MCU. I swear, bro.
Bad take.
Yeah.
You can definitely see that this show is the different shows being stitched together, and they can make it work for the most part. I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
All right, let's see what the TikTokers are talking about. Let's see. Pull this up. What part of this plays into the Thunderbolts? Daredevil Born Again? I mean, Kingpin could play into the Thunderbolts somehow. Like Vincent D'Onofrio might cameo in it, but I'm not necessarily sure what impact he's going to have. Because though, I mean, the battle with Sentry does happen in New York, so who knows what impact Kingpin's going to have there. It'd probably be good to watch this while not. Oh, you're getting your wisdom teeth pulled out today. Oh man, hope you feel better, homie. That's crazy. Taylor was good. Yeah, dude, but wisdom teeth is no joke.
Yeah, I wish you the best.
Facts. He said quick fix for superhero fatigue is just genre switching. We need horror, crime, comedy, or romance. See, bro, I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. I don't really think that is the answer. I just think you just have to make content on characters that fans care about, and it has to be good. And right now, I literally texted Jerry this. Liberties is like taking a chance, man. You only get so many. And I think that this show is suffering because of the stupid mistakes that they've done in the past. That's one of the only reasons why I really feel like this show is suffering, man. Because Disney has done some dumb stuff with their content. And if you don't think shows like Acolyte impacts Marvel, it does, bro. It does. It does in a bad way.
Because it means when something like Acolyte happens, you have to understand people are thinking like, okay, maybe Kathleen Kennedy is out of her mind, but Bob Iger didn't put a leash on her. Like, come on. I mean, in making decisions, okay, nothing crazy. But like, you got to have someone at the top that's overriding these ridiculous decisions, and they don't, which means that people at Marvel could get away with it. And people at Marvel have made some awful decisions. I mean, we still, the movie that I'm most hyped for, but they're doing a female Silver Surfer, okay? So, like, and I know that there's people out there that are going to play mental gymnastics and, like, be like, oh, well, in issue, 162 from 1964, like, there was one issue where Shia LaBeouf was Silver Surfer. Like, bro, everyone wants the traditional classic version of the character. I am so tired of people, it's like the Thread type of people that know their arguments are shit, but expect us to play along with their mental gymnastics game. Okay. Like I know you're not that intelligent, but I also know you're not that stupid.
Yeah. If it's bad, it's bad, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see. You may see a ton on they're just talking about the shows. Let's see. I've had a hard time watching What If, I'm stuck on it for months because I had a hard time watching. Yeah. Well, What If is mid? I will honestly skip it. Homie.
What I did with What If, I liked the first season, but now I just watch an episode when I'm in the mood for Marvel and I don't have time to watch a movie. and I pick the episodes based on the description. What I will say is I really hope that they tie in Uatu, the Watcher, into something else. Because if What If was just like a random show for Disney Plus and doesn't tie into the sacred timeline at all, like that's stupid.
100%. I enjoy being here so much because y'all talk about things I wish I could talk about with other people. Hey, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. We talk about the stuff that no one talks about, man. So we are happy that you're here, and we're happy that you are a part of the Superhero Cuts family.
And nothing's off limits with us. We really talk about it all.
Heck yeah. Like no one wanted a freaking Echo show. I'm sorry, but she's a side character. And you're right. No one wanted an Echo show, and the show's not bad either. Show's not bad,
but it was a dumb move. It was a dumb move because just because you could make a show and it's good, like when you have a brand like Marvel and you have the MCU, strategy is more important. Like I remember when we first saw the concept art from the Batman Beyond animated movie that the Spider-Verse creators pitched to Warner Brothers. And Stevie said this. You want to say what you said? I'll say it. I
forget. Go ahead.
Stevie was like, yes, this movie looks awesome. It would be an amazing movie, but it's not the right time because they need to focus on the DCU and establishing the DCU Batman before giving in, even if it's Elseworlds, an alternate Batman thing. And again, just because Echo was a good show doesn't mean it was the right move. There's only so many shows you could put out for characters that people don't really care about before people get tired of it. Nobody wanted She-Hulk. Nobody wanted Echo. There are people that pretend that they wanted it, but that's just because they like the diversity piece. And let's just call it what it is. And I think diversity is important. I think representation is important. But I don't think that should be the reason a show exists. And I also think that if they really cared about that kind of stuff, they should have made Black Widow 5 years before it came out. Black Widow is actually a good movie. It just came out at the wrong time. And I think Black Widow is the best female character the MCU has. And I don't think they did her properly. I think they really just used her for Avengers movies. So there's 100%. Things like that.
You're right, man. You're right, bro. Timing is everything. And imagine if Daredevil Born Again came out right after Hawkeye. I think the views would be a whole lot larger. You know what I mean? And yes, that is, and I think that also plays a part into why the streaming numbers are bad is because of timing. We get this comic book version of Kingpin and Hawkeye, which he was dope in the show, and then you give us one scene of him in Echo and one scene of him in She-Hulk, and you're building and instead of doing a whole Daredevil show right after. And I think that might be the biggest weakness to Disney Plus is that when they had the fans, they didn't take advantage of speed and trying to get out content. And I'm not saying that like the quality has to be bad, but Marvel Studios is a well-oiled machine, and they should have gotten Daredevil out, and they should have, and Agatha and like Echo and She-Hulk should have never been a thought.
Yeah, and I also think like Disney Plus came out at a time when a very specific type of propaganda was much more widely accepted, and we're not in that time anymore. And I think that people still hold it against them. I do. And that's why I'm worried about this Punisher storyline with Daredevil. I don't think it's a good move. And if they're already worried about streaming numbers and that storyline gets played out and there's backlash against it, and like, if there is going to be backlash against it, there's also going to be people that are celebrating it. And like, I don't think that all news is good news nowadays. Like The Flash, you saw what the controversies did to that movie. That movie was tanked. Its reputation will never recover. So I don't think it would be a good thing if there's like a polarizing political division amongst the fandom for this Daredevil show that's already struggling to perform as well as Gagatha. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I agree. It's just it's just stupid decisions, man. So,
Yeah.
but hey, man, Marvel, if you want to dig your hole, like you got to do it. I guess I don't know, and it is how it is at this point, man. It just sucks. It just sucks, man, because this is good content, but could have came out earlier. You could have done, and honestly, imagine if they canceled those shows and put that money into the Daredevil show, and you introduce other characters through the show. Could have been way better. All right, I'm gonna read a couple more chats, then we're gonna get to our next topic. Let's see. I bought comics. I like them, but I want to buy ones for beginners, just like start. Okay, so if you want to start comics, and this is from Comic Cuts, he's my like mentor in comics.
Well, let me take this. So I'm actually going to recommend something different. If you're looking for like a comic to get into comics, I would recommend the Ultimates by Mark Millar. Mark Millar, Millar. First of all, you can download Marvel Unlimited. It's $10 a month, and it gives you access to pretty much every Marvel comic ever, except for anything that released in, I think it's the past 6 months. Those you have to buy, but it's an amazing catalog. It's what I use, and the Ultimates is a really good comic. It's kind of like a cinematic blockbuster. And I think the reason I would recommend that first, as opposed to like Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, is because this is like a good comic for you to experience reading comics before getting into something that is like super intricate and complex. And it's still a really good comic. And a lot of Avengers 1 was inspired from this comic. But what I would do after that is I would 100% read the Jonathan Hickman Avengers.
Hold on, Jerry, 1 second. How do you spell his name? Because I'm about to send it to her, like through the TikTok. Mike
Mark space Millar.
Perfect. And then you said
Mark Millar.
Perfect. And then you said Avengers by Hickman. Yep.
Yeah, I would do Avengers by Hickman after. But if you want to like slow down before you get into something so intricate, I would do Spider-Man JMS is a really good run, and it's not like super complex. The Avengers Hickman stuff is like it's the best comic ever, but it's super intricate and interwoven and complex, like where you might need to slow down your pace on reading it to really absorb all of it. And that's why I wouldn't necessarily recommend it as someone's first comic.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to send you over this starter list, but make sure you download the Marvel Unlimited app because that'll save you so much money. So much money.
Yeah, it's crazy because there's so many people who are like, oh, I have to read it on paper. Well, like now you have to either go to a store or wait for it in the mail. You have to pay for it. When you're reading it, you're going to be worried about the condition and, all that. Whereas I could just go on my iPad and guess what? If I don't like a comic, I didn't pay for it and wait 5 days for it to come in the mail. Like, it's just stupid. And if you want to read a lot of comics and experience comics, digital is the way to go. I'm not saying don't buy the ones you like and collect it and all that. That's a whole other issue. But if you want to read comics and become knowledgeable and like really experience the story, digital is 100% better.
Facts. What if is the biggest disappointment? Don't want to start out on comics that has too much continuity attached to it.
Yeah, the Ultimates doesn't have a lot of continuity. It's an alternate universe. It's actually the universe that collided with 616 in the final incursion of Secret Wars.
Just finished reading G.F. John's Green Lantern, one of my favorite DC books. Great book, bro. It's a great book.
So good.
I think there's a novelty to having a physical, but digital is more practical. So something that I do is I really love the JMS run. So I bought my favorite cover out of the whole run. You know what I mean? So I'll just buy one to kind of keep us like a nostalgia piece for myself.
You got the one where he doesn't have the mask on. It's the conversation. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, that was my favorite one. And then I ordered a Avengers one too. I ordered the Avengers World one.
Oh, that's dope.
With Captain America's. With Captain America standing.
Oh, that's
sick. I got it off of eBay though. Yeah, I got it off of eBay.
I have the whole Secret Wars set though.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, you gotta send me a photo of that. That's
Yeah,
fire.
I will.
Who needs Marvel Unlimited when you have Read Comics online?
Bro, get that comment out of
Yeah,
here.
you're telling too much of the sauce, bro. Relax, bro.
Yeah,
And we do not use that. We use Marvel Unlimited. We use DC Infinite, and we buy
yeah.
digital.
We do not condone
Yep.
pirating comic
Yes,
books.
we do not condone pirating. At Hero Superhero Cuts, we do not do that. What's the topic so far? So, but right now we are about to get into the Russos talking about RDJ and Dr. Doom. So let's get right into it. Okay. So the Russos ended up talking about RDJ, and it had a lot of fans excited. Some didn't really understand, so I wanted to give some credence to that too. So it says this: the Russo bros say that Robert Downey Jr. is dialed in with his research to play Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday, and this is what they said to ET Now. He's writing backstory and costume ideas. He just loves really rich three-dimensional characters, and I think he sees a real opportunity here with this character. So they talked a lot, or they've been talking a lot about just, what they're doing now. What is a three-dimensional character? It is a character who is complex, nuanced, well developed, and portrayed in real time. Okay, and these fleshed out characters may enhance personal story, these characters may enhance stories by providing depth. And that is a good way to explain Dr. Doom. He's a really deep and amazing character. So how do you feel about the fact that RDJ is in the lab studying and adding more to just the story of Dr. Doom for Doomsday and stuff like that?
I mean, I love hearing it, but like I knew he would be doing this. It's RDJ we're talking about. And RDJ is so obviously has such a strong relationship with Marvel that I'm confident they are recommending the right Doom comics for him to read, and that he understands Secret Wars is also a deep character analysis on Doctor Doom. Also read, but mainly Doctor Doom. And, another recommendation I'm going to throw out, Books of Doom by Ed Brubaker. It is the ultimate Doctor Doom story. It's also a Doctor Doom origin story. It's incredible. There's a couple of really, really good Doctor Doom comics. So if you want more, I could give you more, but I would start with that one. It's amazing. And it's only 6 issues. It's also all on Marvel Unlimited. So you can read it super quick. But it's fire. And, if you want to really like understand Doctor Doom and just read one, 6-issue comic, that's the one to go for. And I'm confident that RDJ is going to be reading that. He'll probably be also reading Doctor Doom by Christopher Cantwell, which I would say read after Books of Doom. But Doom is like super egotistical and super intelligent. And, there's a story where I think it was like an asteroid or something like that was going to hit the Earth. And Doctor Doom wanted to save the world, but he was worried that everyone would think he's a hero and that he was nice and that he cared about people. And he was like, I don't want people thinking that, but I want to do it to get the credit that I was able to save the world, that my intelligence is like able to do it, and Reed couldn't do it. So he is, there is a reason that Marvel has been around as long as it has been, and no villain has ever come near as great in the greatness of Doctor Doom.
Yeah. So bro. And by the way, the first issue of Books of Doom is just going to grab you automatically, bro. The second they go into the stuff with his mom, bro, I was hooked, bro.
Yeah,
I was hooked. Because I mean, they say she's a sorceress, but like, I mean, it gives you a little more of a deep dive on her kind of being a sorceress, and also all of the stuff going on with the Romani people. It makes you feel like you're kind of like a part of it. It gives you more of a credence into the people, before Doom becomes this ruler, because in a lot of the Doctor Doom stories, he's already the ruler. You know what I mean? And so it was cool seeing like an origin, I guess you can say, of Doctor Doom before he was this great ruler. So Doctor Doom is crazy, bro. But and then some people were mad. They're like, why is RDJ writing for the story, bro? Come on, bro. Like, he's an actor, he's writing for his character, and obviously he's getting reviews, and I mean, obviously he's not the only one. Like whatever he writes, that doesn't mean that it's coming to pass. Like obviously it's getting reviewed, and they're looking at the source and all of that stuff. So people shouldn't really trip about that. But yeah, man, I'm hype. I'm really hype about Doctor Doom, man.
Can't wait, man. Oh, I'm such a fan of Doom. Like, I'm losing my mind. I'm going to be disappointed if we don't get a Doctor Doom post credit in Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Can we talk about what we talked about in text? Because I really feel like our texts are like sometimes like podcasts. So we were talking a few days ago about maybe Doom fitting into the story, and I was talking to you about the idea that what if Doom? This is speculation. Like, and this is more of a question because you've read way more Doom than I have. Would it make sense if Doom sat by and watched the multiversal war with all of the Kangs, or would it be more Doom to intervene, or would it be more Doom to wait for the right time to strike?
I would say I can see Doom waiting for the right time to strike, but sometimes I could also see him. I forget which comic it was, but there was a time where he was like, I was going to get involved, but you guys were basically doing my job for me. So, like, why lift a finger? But it's tough to say. I think that they should probably just like do some kind of flashback somehow in the multiversal war and have Kang be like watching it, and Doom just snap Kang's neck and be like, that's it, we're done.
Yeah, just take him out quick.
Yeah, it's usually Doom that takes out Kang in the comics is what you have to understand. That same comic where he like played with the idea of saving the Earth, Kang was helping him because Doom was also like imprisoned for a bit, and Kang was helping him, and eventually Doom just like, wait a minute, what if Kang tries to cross me? And there was no indication that Kang was going to try to cross him, but he was like, if I thought about it, I'm just going to kill him, and he kills him. Like, that is Doom. He is just savage. But yeah, I would read.
What if he crosses me?
Yeah, I would read books of Doom, and I would also read Dr. Doom by Christopher Cantwell. Dr. Doom by Christopher Cantwell is 10 issues. I know a lot of people want to read Infamous Iron Man because when RDJ was announced as Dr. Doom, a lot of people were like, oh, he's probably playing Infamous Iron Man. Wrong. That's one of the dumbest theories anyone ever had, because Infamous Iron Man is a redemption arc for Dr. Doom. What happened was at the end of Civil War II, Tony Stark dies, and Dr. Doom was like, I'm going to take up the Iron Man as a mantle, and I'm going to be a hero. And nobody really believed him. It's an awesome comic, but it was a stupid idea, because why would they have Dr. Doom be an alternate version of himself as a hero, as a redemption arc, before we ever got the classic villain? Yeah, Marvel's just going to skip over their biggest villain of all time because, RDJ played Iron Man. Like, it just made no sense. Yeah. But if you want to read Infamous Iron Man, it's incredible. But I still would, at the very least, read Books of Doom. I would read Books of Doom and Doctor Doom first, and then do Infamous Iron Man.
I would even go to Secret. I would even go right to like Avengers and read Secret Wars.
Yeah. You can.
Secret Wars is where it's at, bro. If you want like I wish I read Books of Doom before Secret Wars. I think it would have been a good intro to Doom, or I wish I added it like maybe after I read I think it's like, because Infinity's in there too. But like I wish that I added it a little bit before the Secret Wars story started, because it would have been a perfect intro to Doctor Doom. So then when you go to Secret Wars, you're not really surprised by the things he does. But yeah man. Great books, and that's why, bro, I'm really excited to like reread kind of like the way you are, because I am going to add certain runs. I mean, to give me more groundwork to the stories.
The more you read, the more knowledgeable you become. God,
I love comic books, bro.
And that's why I think it's important to recommend to someone like the Mark Miller Ultimates first, because before you take on like a big comic undertaking, I would just do something that's going to get you to enjoy comics first, you know?
Facts. That's a great take. All right,
Yeah.
next topic here. So wait, do we have any comments? One check. Oh no. Wait. After reading Jeff Johns' GL, I'd be lying if I said I'm a little disappointed that Gunn is going with a 60-year-old Hal. Hopefully, we can get at least a prequel Hal show in his early days in the DCU.
I hear that. It's a fair take.
They can always go back and do it eventually, but John is
Yeah.
definitely the guy that they're going with for right now.
Yeah, they're definitely going with John. And John's cool too. Like, you're
He's
going to
dope.
like John. Yeah.
Oh yeah, John's dope. Okay, so Lex Luthor. So I think it was everything DCU. They posted it first, and then I was like, oh, I gotta take that, post that. They ended up posting basically like this picture of like a Lex Luthor suit or Lex Luthor's war suit, and
Who posted this?
it was
DCU?
everything DCU. Yeah, everything DCU posted it first.
Okay.
No, but like, yeah, because you sent me it, I think, but
Yeah.
it was everything DCU that posted, and they took a picture of, I think it was a set photo with like Mr. Terrific, and then on the side was like
yes.
color on the side,
Look at
and they were like, yo, what is this? And there were some Lex Luthor like suits in the teaser trailer that we saw as well. So I wanted to talk about this, bro, because I do think that with Lex Luthor, and you and I have both said this, we think Lex Luthor is going to be a favorite coming out of Superman. And I do think that this is going to be the most active we have seen Lex Luthor in the live action. Because in the live actions, Lex Luthor has been shown as this intellectual, which he is, but Lex Luthor also is a man of action, you know, and he uses his technology to not just, you know, hire people and stuff to fight against Superman, but he is going to fight against Superman. So I do hope that we get to see, you know, him and Lex face off, and maybe he's the final boss in the end. But how do you feel about, you know, the possible thoughts of Lex donning a suit and going as Superman?
I love it. I want to see the suit. I mean, it's just like real Lex Luthor lore, you know, like that suit is, first of all, sick. I think it's going to make more of a spectacle. He's obviously more powerful in the suit. It's going to make the combat between Supes and Lex that much greater. I love it. I think that this was a really good sign, and you know, maybe we're just learning about like the way James Gunn is rolling this movie out. You know, and I don't think this leak was unintentional. I think it was intentional. But you know, one of my earlier thoughts was like, why wasn't that in the trailer? And who knows? Because that trailer rollout, whatever you think about anything else in the Superman rollout, irrelevant to the result that trailer had. It couldn't have had a better result. So, you know, they put a suit like that into the next trailer. I mean, they got to do stuff to one up the first one. You know, and I think that's the way they're going to go. And I got to say, you know, there's a lot of commentary on what James Gunn is doing. I think that there's a lot of positive hype around it. And then there's like the Snyder cult that is never going to be happy because they wish James Gunn got the job. They wish Zack Snyder got James Gunn's job, and they pretend they have a problem with James Gunn, but they really just have a problem that Zack Snyder didn't get the job. So they're always going to be, oh, James Gunn breathed. The movie's not going to be good. You know, like, get out,
bro.
You know, so
I can't stand them guys, bro.
I think that the hype is going to carry, and I think this movie's going to do really well. But I do think that like that next trailer, I think James Gunn has a couple moves in his sleeve, and you know, I think a lot of people that were critical of James Gunn during this rollout are going to look really silly when this movie just absolutely dominates this summer.
Bro, did you see Slav's song he made with AI throwing shots at the Snyder Cult?
No, I got to see that. That's funny.
Bro, it's on TikTok, bro. You're going to die. Bro, Slav is really one of the funniest people I know, bro. He really is. He is so funny, bro. Like like out of all the people, I would expect him to make an AI song dissing the Snyder Cut. Like, because Slap, it's such a Slav thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And bro, the cover art is Henry Cavill Superman holding a grave, and I think the grave might have Zack Snyder's name on. I forget, but dude, it's so bro. I was dying, bro. By the way, Slav is going to be on soon, y'all.
Okay, great. I love Slav.
Yeah. I was talking to him, and I miss having him on the show. And
so I tweeted, and I think he actually retweeted this, but I wrote, Zack Snyder fans on this app act like they have issues with James Gunn, but it's just resentment that Snyder didn't get his job at DC Studios. It's never-ending tantrum, nothing more. And Hungry Almighty just nailed it with this comment, so I'm going to post it to the.
Yeah, let's see it. It could have been anyone in Gunn's position, and they would have complained because it's not the Snyderverse. Then they are going to automatically hit on it. You're not wrong, my brother.
Yeah. I think they're going to look really dumb because I do think this movie is going to be incredible. First of all, James Gunn has really never had an L, number one. Number two, he loves the comics. And number three, he knows how much is riding on this movie. And, like, he is more than capable of delivering an awesome comic book movie. So, like, you think the guy that has it in him to consistently deliver W's is going to fuck up the one time where it means more than every other time and everything's riding on it. Come on, man. And he's prideful. So that's a good thing. Like, when someone is prideful and competitive, it's a good thing because it means they're too embarrassed to take an L. 100%.
100%, bro. Yeah, bro, this movie is going to be very special. And our boy, shout out to John Campia. He's popped on his show once. Shout out to John, but he said that he's heard a lot. Yeah, facts. He's heard a lot that the Superman movie is doing good. And also, I want to say something as well about just leaks and coverage as well, okay? Whenever a insider is posting news, okay, don't get mad at the insider for just being the messenger. They're just telling you things that they have heard, okay? And look, and there are some situations where some of these guys out here are biased, and there are some people that are biased. But for some of the big guys, some of these guys aren't even fans of this stuff, and they're just reporting news. Like, we got to be able to be a little better with deciphering whether if news is biased or if it's strictly, you know what I mean, just someone trying to report.
I think the issue is that a lot of people don't believe, like, Jeff Snyder's scoops are real. I think people believe that he's making it up and he's making up news based on his biases, which I don't believe, by the way. I think Jeff's kind of entertaining. I like that. I like that, like, people are, like, gunning for his head and he's kind of like, screw you. Like, I like that attitude. Okay.
Yeah.
So I like the guy. I don't follow everything he says or anything like that, but I just like his attitude.
100%. So please, guys, don't kill the messenger. All right. Now, next thing we have some X-Men news, man. And I actually do like this news. So Jesse Plemons is reportedly one of the names being eyed to play Beast in the Marvel Studios X-Men reboot film. So he was actually in an HBO movie with Elizabeth Olsen a couple of years back, which I watched. Really good movie. This is about dude having
Civil War.
Yes. And the movie was about dude having an affair. Elizabeth Olsen was his side chick. It was dope. Like, because she's like the crazy side chick. Elizabeth Olsen is beautiful, but she's like she's the crazy side chick, and is set in like the 60s or like the 70s. So it was a really dope movie. But I do think Jesse Plemons, and I don't mean this in a rude way, he does have the look to play a great Beast.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of surprised because Kelsey Grammer was in the post-credit.
Yeah.
I guess it didn't really mean anything, but that's interesting that they put Beast in a post-credit scene with Kelsey Grammer and they didn't even have the character casted, because that says to me that they really wanted to show the X-Men in a post-credit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're really trying to, and I mean, it is a great way to push the multiversal saga, but you are right. And like the fact that we were in the X Mansion. I mean, like they're literally trying to push hard. And I'm gonna move up this X-Men news up here too. But yeah, I think Jesse is dope, and I would love for him to play Beast as well. And he is a little older, like he's not gonna be a teenager, but it does make sense for Beast is a very smart character, very intellectual character. And by the way, Beast is so underrated, bro. He is a very underrated character in the X-Men, and he is thought about enough. And I kind of downplayed him until I read the freaking new Avengers, and when he takes the place of Professor X, it's like, at first I'm like, why is he taking Professor X's spot? But then you see that he's mentally keeping up with T'Challa and Reed. I'm like, oh
no, he's also like one of the main characters in Grant Morrison's new X-Men. I'm curious to what you would think of Grant Morrison's new X-Men.
I'm gonna add it to my list. I'm gonna start it. Do you like it?
Some of it is good. Some of it's okay. I think I stopped in the middle, and I always meant to go back to it. I think Grant Morrison is overrated. I always did. People love Grant Morrison. I know there's a couple other people out there that also agree with me that he's overrated. I just think that he, I don't know. I think he does some weird stuff, and it doesn't always land.
So do you think he's like Dan Slott?
No, definitely not. I mean, Grant Morrison, I think, is a better writer than Dan Slott. Dan Slott, though, he had, I think his Spider-Man run, he had 4 big Spider-Man runs that spanned over 10 years. And some of them were good, and a lot of it was really bad. And I wouldn't say to not read it. I still would read all of them. It's good enough. But it pisses me off that they kept him on Spider-Man so long. And then it pisses me off that they kept him on Fantastic Four for 45 issues. And it wouldn't piss me off, but I tried to read it, and I read the first 2 issues, and it was such grand stakes. And all of a sudden it was the entire world was at stakes. And it was it felt like it didn't even matter because it happened so quickly, and it was so silly. And it's how do you let someone like this write Spider-Man for 10 years and then do Fantastic Four for 45 issues, which is crazy, and that's why I always say, I think he's got dirt on someone really high up at Marvel. He's I have proof that you cheated on your wife, and you better give me something. I don't know.
Yeah, give me that Spider-Man run.
And he's a brat on Twitter too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of him. I like some of his comics, but I'm definitely not a Dan Slott fan.
Bet. Let's read this chat before we hit the next topic. Fun fact, at first I thought, why are fans saying Nathan Fillion should have been Hal? I thought, that's just fans being dumb. But I found out that Nathan voiced Hal in the new 52 DC AMU. Yeah, that should never happen in history.
Yeah. Even if he voiced
No.
Yeah, big difference between voicing a character and playing. No, nobody wants Shamik Moore playing Miles Morales.
I was really about to say that. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Now we're gonna talk about the Wolverine. So, bro, by the way, I got this Funko Pop on Saturday of Wolverine with the Cyclops comic in the back.
Oh, that's the John Byrne suit too.
Yeah, fire, bro.
Hell yeah.
I was super hyped to get it. But okay. So Den of Nerds talked about this in an X-Men rumor leak video that he put out today. I was like, I have to add this. So he's been hearing that they are floating around the idea of having 2 Wolverines, and they don't want Hugh Jackman to be the Wolverine for the MCU, and that they want to cast their own Wolverine that is younger because they want to do just more stories with Wolverine, and that Hugh Jackman wants to do a trilogy with Deadpool, and that they kind of want to have their own little thing going on, but Marvel wants commitment with Wolverine that Hugh Jackman just isn't willing to give.
I love this so much because I think it's important to do more with Deadpool and Wolverine. It's such a success, and so many people love it, and they need that kind of success right now. So I don't think it's a good idea to just abandon that. But they also need a new Wolverine. And I know that to some people it might be controversial to hear that, but Hugh Jackman's much older. They need to build a new X-Men team. And even if Hugh Jackman wanted to do it, it would be pretty weird to have someone who's in his like late 50s be with like 22-year-old kids that are like just becoming X-Men. So they need a new Wolverine, and the next MCU saga is going to be the Mutant Saga. He's a really important character, obviously. They need a new Wolverine, period. And if you're someone who can't get over seeing someone else's Wolverine, first of all, let the Band-Aid get ripped off, okay? Because all characters get recasted. That's the way Hollywood works. For some reason, in the MCU, you know, everyone wants to have a sissy fit over it. You know, T'Challa needs to be recasted. At some point, Iron Man's probably going to be recasted. You know, it's just the way the world works. And yeah, so I think that if you can't get over someone else playing Wolverine, well, guess what? You have Deadpool and Wolverine 2 to look forward to.
and bro, and I agree, right? It's the best of both worlds, man. You know, and this is like similar to like, you know, the whole Batman situation.
I was just gonna say that.
Yep. So you know, as much as I hate it for Batman, I think for Wolverine, you know, and
I think the Batman over.
You said what?
I think that they're gonna win you over with the two Batmans.
Yeah. And I was about to say I am coming around to that nowadays.
Do you see that Pattinson wouldn't be the best fit for the DCU now?
I am seeing that Pattinson has flaws, and yeah, but that's because I'm reading more Batman. That's the issue.
I remember saying to you during that whole thing, I was like, read more Batman.
Yeah, and that's a part of the issue, bro. Because I have these like, you know, obviously like I biasly love
Pattinson.
Yeah, Pattinson. But then like when I read New 52 Batman comics, I'm like, dang, bro. like you know what I mean? Like
Batman's much more commanding, and he, you know, he's not soft spoken. Like I love Pattinson as Batman, but he plays a very specific version of Batman that is not the same Batman to lead the Bat family or the Justice League. And that is why I didn't think, like, I don't think that he was in a realistic universe and you can't just change the universe. Yeah, you could, because it's the character. But I don't think his version of Batman is the right version of Batman to work with a team. And that's what I think.
100%, bro. And like, when you're reading like Graveyard Shift, bro, it's just different, bro. Like it's just like you're like, I mean, like I'm like, bro, like give me the DCU Batman right now, bro. Like you know, and then the
so you went back to read New 52 Batman again?
Yes, I did.
You're really deep in it now. I love it.
Yeah, and then I ordered a physical because it was so good of the Volume 9 like epilogue. Just because it's so good, bro. I had to order the physical.
I have I think it's a 9.0. It's the only graded comic I have, but I have issue number 6, like the first Court of Owls appearance, like real appearance. I have that one graded and cased up.
Yeah, and I just looked at my Amazon. Sorry, it's volume 10 epilogue. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I ordered the volume 10. But yeah, bro, like, and like when I'm reading New 52, I'm like, yeah, like as I like Pattinson, and I think that Pattinson. I think I like Pattinson because I dislike the Nolan trilogy so much that Pattinson just gave me a different vibe. But I think that my love for Pattinson, bro, was more on the potential of what he could become, not what he was right now. And in my opinion, if Matt Reeves wanted more for Pattinson's Batman, he would have been the Batman of the DCU. But the fact that he's not, I just don't think Pattinson is going to progress as much as I thought he was, as a character. if that
I
makes
think
sense.
he'll progress within his version
Yeah,
of the character.
exactly. Like not the way I imagine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because my
you
whole thought was like,
imagine the
oh, like they're about to get the
character.
Bat family. You know what I mean? Like that was my whole thought. And and when I'm reading New 52 again, I'm like, yeah, nah. it's just it, and I advise you all read the first read 10 issues of like New 52 and then
That,
watch the
that's
Batman
fascinating.
and you're gonna feel like you're watching two and you're gonna feel like you're seeing two different characters. And that's what made me say, yeah, nah. The DCU
That's
needs
the
it.
best Batman run, by the way, by Scott Snyder, New 52. It
Yeah.
is on. That's the run that got me obsessed with comics.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's good. That's what's fire. And Tinian is the artist, right?
No, Greg Capullo.
Greg. Yeah, Greg.
Yeah. He's also, by the way, doing Wolverine Revenge, which is this sick comic that's current. It's ongoing right now.
You like
by
it?
Jonathan Hickman. It is insane. Oh my God. It's so good.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Now, next topic here. I wanted to talk about the Void because we saw in the trailer that Florence Pugh's Black Widow or whatever she is, Yelena Belova, sorry, she was in the Void and we saw her kind of fighting against herself. And we all know that, like, the Void is like a reality warping place and all of that stuff. But I do feel like a lot of people have a lot of questions about the Void and stuff like that. So I wanted us to talk about it for a bit. But before we get into what the Void is, how big of a role do you think the Void itself is going to play in the Thunderbolts show? Or no, sorry, in the Thunderbolts movie. Yeah.
I think it's going to have a role. I don't know how big because sometimes the MCU has something big and it's like really hyped up for their movie. And then you only see it for like 3 minutes. And sometimes it's like, the whole movie. So I really don't know. It's really hard to tell how big the Void is going to be. And I think Sentry, I think will probably get a fair amount of screen time. The Void, I think it could go either way. I think it could be something that we get a small amount of screen time on, yet it still leaves a big impact on the movie, or like we could get the Void right after the first act and be dealing with the Void till the end of the movie. I think it could go either way.
For sure. So so the Void is a dark and it is a destructive alter ego of Sentry, and it is his opposite shadow self. It is created as a direct consequence of his power. So every time Sentry uses his powers, the Void grows stronger. And so what the nature of the Void is it is really a monstrous shadowy entity that thrives on fear. It can reality warp. It can shatter cities. It can corrupt minds, and it literally kills heroes with
The
ease.
big thing about it is it comes about when Sentry loses control.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. And like the Void has no type of like morality base at all. It just does not care, and that's what I'm kind of like excited to see about how people are just going to get like yeeted. So I think it's going to be fun. And I mean the trailer was already showing that where random people are just falling into these black little holes. So I'm pretty excited about that. So all right, let's read some chats here.
I like the new like teaser that came out. That was like super edgy. That was sick.
Yeah, but also, did you people Florence Pugh say that it's like a 24 film, but it has like superheroes and then freaking A24 commented, they were like, what?
Yeah.
That was funny. That was funny. Also, bro, shockingly, I see a lot of people. This is off topic. I see a lot of people that want The Rock to play Apocalypse.
Yeah, I just don't want him in Marvel at all.
Me either. But a lot of people they want it, bro. Which I said it shocks me. Shocks me.
Most people probably aren't aware of the kind of problems he causes internally, and I think it's easy to see The Rock and be like, yeah, he'd probably do a great job as Apocalypse. So I think it's fair. I don't expect everyone to know like that kind of drama.
Yeah, exactly. I think that Dave Bautista would have been a really good one, but he's sized down now, so I don't think he can
Yeah,
play that role. But he would have been a really great Apocalypse. He's an underrated actor as well.
I
Very
agree
underrated.
with that 100%.
Yeah, one of my favorite roles is when he was in James Bond. That was fun. When,
He was great.
remember he put his finger in the guy's eyes? That joke was crazy.
Yeah, that was hard.
All right, let's see. Yes, I prefer a recast of Marvel. If Marvel recast guys like Wolverine and T'Challa, it will finally show dumb fans that recast are a good thing. Hunger Mike, look, this is the thing that people don't understand. If they recast Batman so often and Batman is a way larger character than both of those characters, then recasting T'Challa and Wolverine should be nothing. Like Batman and Superman alone is as big as the Avengers. Like just being real. Like those are two of the biggest characters in pop culture. Like and they've been recasted so many times, but for some reason we're scared to recast T'Challa when the Superman recast, in my opinion, no one would.
When Marvel says, "Oh, we can't do it because it would be disrespectful because Chadwick passed away," but when it came to William Hurt as Ross, that didn't apply. So obviously, that's not the actual standard.
Exactly, and in my opinion, the scrutiny that James Gunn is getting is worse than what I think they would get for T'Challa, in my opinion.
The scrutiny for James Gunn from Snyder fans, you think?
Yeah, oh yeah, bro. For the Superman recast, oh bro, it was strong.
The Superman recast. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that is some of the worst hate I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was really crazy. That was so crazy and ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never seen that much negative. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that was bad.
All those people showed up for the Snyderverse if they really cared that much.
Oh yeah, I just hope they don't make X-23 Wolverine straight away. I really don't think that will happen, bro, because they are.
I don't know, bro. They're doing female Silver Surfer, so who's to say they wouldn't do X-23 right away? If
they do that, I'll riot.
Yeah, I would.
And to make it worse, I won't watch it. I swear to you, I will not watch it.
And this one's even more likely because they probably are like, oh, people like Laura. You know,
yeah, she's dope, but she ain't no Wolverine, bro. No one will take the place of Wolverine if they do that, bro. Oh,
she annoys me, bro. I don't even like her that much. I really don't. I didn't like Logan. I thought Logan's one of them. I think Logan might be the most overrated comic book.
I agree.
Of all time.
We're on the same page, bro. Yeah, I've only seen Logan twice. I've only seen it twice.
Same. I saw it when it came out, and I rewatched it like last year. I'm like, because everyone's hyping it up. I'm like,
one of the wackest endings. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah. The wackest ending.
Yeah, to a 5. Bro, Days of Future Past is 10 times better than any of that, bro. That's probably my favorite Hugh Jackman Wolverine film.
And X-Men Origins Wolverine is so much better than Wolverine. And people hate on that movie.
Banger, bro. That movie is a banger. What's funny is even though Sentry is an overhyped character, I can at least respect Marvel for choosing to go for a more comic accurate look. If only they did that with other characters, cough, Silver Surfer. Yo, and what is funny? Fans were hating on the Sentry look. I'm like, bro, this is straight from the comics.
Yeah, it's like
the dude that wrote the comics wrote the design for the costume. Like, what more are we going to complain about here?
No, it's like people wanted to see a cell shaded cartoon.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, if the comic book creator is the one that gave the notes for the suit, like, what are we doing here, bro?
Yeah.
That's like if Hickman freaking gave Feige the freaking design, hit the freaking art designs for Dr. Doom, and he copies it tit for tat, and fans are mad at it. It's like, come on, bro. Did we not learn from Black Adam? By the way, I like Black Adam, bro. Very not accurate, but it is a fun movie. Logan is a good film. It's depressing. The Wolverines, bro. That movie is so overrated. Oh man. Yo, Jerry, I actually am so happy that you said that, bro. I really am, because I had been feeling that for a long time. I think I've just forgotten to just talk about it. Like, so happy you said that about freaking
Logan.
Yes, because it is so gassed up so much, and that's been in my head for a long time to say that, bro. Thank you for saying that, for real. Gosh. All right, now I wanted to talk about this because on my TikTok, I was messaging somebody and they were asking me about Green Lantern, and they didn't understand why James Gunn was so hyped to put out the Hal Jordan and John Stewart photo. And he was like, why, like, what makes Green Lantern so good? And I was telling him about the lore and about like Oa, and I was somehow like, you know, how great it is. But I wanted you to just, you know, to really talk about, bro, why Green Lantern has some of the best lore and why it could possibly be one of the biggest you know, superhero stories in the DCU.
I think that people are going to fall in love with Hal and John the way people fell in love with Iron Man. I really do. First of all, what you have to understand about the Green Lanterns is that the Green Lanterns are an intergalactic corps. So they are like a peacekeeping corps that's intergalactic, and there are lanterns from all different planets throughout the solar system. But the Green Lantern is based on willpower and being able to overcome fear. Those are like there are two principles. But there's other colors too, and there's the spectrum of lanterns, and they duke it out with the other ones, and it's crazy. And then there's other like evil factions and like intergalactic terrorists and all this kind of stuff. So it's really cool because of all the villains and the spectrum and the lanterns and their powers. Like all of it combined is just like a perfect formula of lore and like superheroes. It's just incredible.
I agree, bro. The Green Lantern story in general is just so vast, and you can get so caught up in it, bro, that you'll feel like you're like not in DC. like
Yeah.
it'll feel like you're in your own world.
It really is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, bro, I really wish that like I feel like a Green Lantern video game would go nuts, bro.
Oh man, I would lose my shit.
Yeah, bro, that would be crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, let's see. It did give us the JSA. Oh, you're talking about Black Adam. I think that the lore
America.
I forgot about that. I think that the lore for Lanterns for the DCU will be a slow burn. Like little by little, we will get the greater lore. I don't think they want to dump all of that like the 2011 movie did. But I don't think that the lore is what hurt the Green Lantern movie in 2011. By the way, I don't even think that movie is as bad as people say.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I rewatch that often.
I need to rewatch it. You know, the director of that movie is the same director of both GoldenEye and Casino Royale.
Really?
Yeah, Martin Campbell.
Bro, I don't think that movie's bad, dude. I really don't.
I don't know. Even Ryan Reynolds was like, I watched it for the first time recently. It's not that bad. That's what
exactly.
He said. Like,
fans are just so dramatic. For some reason, bro, DC fans are so dramatic, bro.
Yeah, I also think that I think a lot of it had to do with CGI. There, for the longest time, and I think it maybe even started with that movie, people were like, DC sucks at CGI, their movies suck. And it's like, yes, obviously we all want like amazing CGI, but if just because the CGI isn't excellent doesn't make the movie a bad movie.
100%. And I like the reactive suits that they had on.
Yeah,
I liked how the green was kind of moving inside. Like I enjoyed it. I thought it was dope.
I'm gonna watch that movie tonight.
Facts, bro. Facts. I've been binging all of the Lord of the Rings films lately, and man,
I need to do that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've been down that hole. But anyways,
my dad came over recently and we watched Dune 2. He never saw it before. And he got like the Dolby Atmos experience. He was like, holy shit, this shit's insane.
Yeah, bro. That's why I can't wait to come in and see it, bro. I know it's crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
That's fire. All right, bet. Now let's talk some George Lucas. And we have one more topic and right here. So, all right. So George Lucas canceled show for Star Wars. So there was a canceled show for Star Wars, and apparently this would have like flipped the whole Star Wars upside down. So let's read it. So one of George Lucas's producers, they were on a podcast, and he ended up talking about it. So I want to read this to you guys. So the George Lucas canceled Star Wars show was Star Wars like Underworld, a live action TV series that was in development during the mid to late 2000s. It was meant to explore the criminal underworld of Coruscant and take place between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, focusing on bounty hunters, crime syndicates, and the darker side of the Star Wars galaxy. Now, what was Star Wars Underworld about? Now, this show was reportedly going to follow smugglers, bounty hunters, and crime lords. It would explore how the Empire solidified its power and how the criminal world thrived under their rule. And characters like Emperor Palpatine and even a young Han Solo were going to have roles. Now, why did it get canned? Lucasfilm had over 50 scripts, but the show was put on hold because of its massive budget. By the way, George Lucas wanted $40 million per episode. Lucas wanted Hollywood level production value, but the technology at the time made it too expensive. And when Disney bought Lucasfilm in 2012, Underworld was scrapped in favor of new projects. But the Mandalorian and Andor series were both of those tones and themes were taken from that Star Wars Underworld project, which explains why both of those projects are successful, because they're taking, themes from the GOAT. So and the producer said that Disney would not have bought Lucasfilm if this happened, because he said that he thought Star Wars Underworld would have blown up Star Wars to be way larger than it was.
I agree. I think the 40 million per episode is insane. But I think that someone should have talked him off the ledge on the budget. But if the show was made, that's what Star Wars needed. I mean, something new and fresh and in a different direction. And that's what they just don't understand. And they're just like, oh, well, here's this new character. And then they're 10 minutes later, and this is how he's connected to the Skywalkers. And it's like, shut up. Enough with Skywalkers.
Yeah, bro. I'm just laughing how you started laughing when you heard the budget was 40 million per episode.
Yeah.
George, relax, bro.
yeah. Chill out, bro. We're trying to make money here.
Yeah, that's like Game of Thrones type of budget, but Game of Thrones earned that. You know what I'm saying? They earned to have that much brand.
Yeah, and I'm sure they didn't start out season 1 spending that kind of money per episode.
Oh yeah, dude, 50 scripts is crazy. And on the podcast they said it was going to be about a 60 episode run.
Yeah, that's wild. That's insane.
Yeah, 40 million times 60. And that's not counting marketing and all of the other things that go into it.
Right. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Shows for charity, bro. Yeah.
And guess what company he pitched it to?
Universal.
WB.
That's wild.
Yeah. WB said hell no. Which shocks me that the WB even would even take that conversation.
You know what though? You have to be crazy to be as creative and as genius as George Lucas is.
Oh yeah, George is yeah. I mean, and yeah,
a normal person doesn't create something like Star Wars.
Yeah, and what makes George different? He's not like Tolkien in them, where Tolkien's book and C.S. Lewis's books got made into movies. He created this lore in the movies.
Yeah,
he's a different type of genius, bro. He is.
That's so true, and people forget that. On this show we cover Marvel, DC, and Star Wars, and Star Wars is unique, not just to these 3 enterprises, but to really all of fiction. Most of it comes from books or something else, and it's not always made in the movies. I can think of some others like Mission Impossible, but Star Wars, the behemoth that Star Wars is, being built in the movies is rare.
Yeah, bro. So it's just crazy. Let's see, read chat. Can't wait for Hal and John to say the oath. I also have to ask, what do you guys think of Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern movie? I feel like I'm one of the few who says not bad. We literally just said that, bro. We think that it is not as bad as people say. I like it. I like the movie.
I gotta rewatch it. It's been a long time. Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it this week, maybe tonight.
And I think Ryan's a good Hal Jordan. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's bad as Hal Jordan, bro. And I'm pretty sure that's
still read Hal Jordan in Ryan Reynolds' voice. That'll tell you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And he's and that's where him and Blake Lively met, actually. That's where they started you know, shebanging. So all right, now last topic of the night, and you know, I had to save it for one of Jerry's favorite characters. As I always tell you guys, Jerry always bases his favorite characters on who he is as a person. Okay? So whenever you hear about Namor, Doctor Doom, Magneto, he's not as evil as them, but he's a planner and he task and he's a and look. Let me just tell you guys, let me just tell you guys about Jerry. Right? Jerry is a war strategist, and when I say that, Jerry approaches everything with a war strategy mind. He's always thinking like the next step. So that's why I love when like we get that's why I love talking to him, because he always has a different perspective that like I've never like thought about. Because like I'm more of like a piece, or like I'm more of like a one road guy. Jerry has like 4 different roads, and he might go up one road, then got to switch to the other, and then go to the other. Like you know, multitude of thinkers.
I'm gonna make shit happen, and you know, if I got to call an audible, whatever. But
exactly,
we're getting into the end zone one way or another.
Oh yeah, facts.
Yeah, I love Magneto. I think Magneto is one of the greatest characters of all time. My favorite thing about Magneto is that I'm not saying that his solutions are always right, because he's obviously crazy, but his reasoning for things always makes you stop and think. You know, he's usually right about his reasons. You know, and I say the same thing about Killmonger. Like, I think, well, not necessarily the same thing, but actually not the same thing at all. But anyway, but I love Magneto. I think Magneto is one of the best characters in all of fiction. And I love that they're going to give him his own project. He's just such a unique character. He's not just a villain. And a lot of times he is like on the X-Men roster. So I'm really curious to the direction the MCU is going to take with him. But nonetheless, he is a super layered character. There's a lot of depth to him. Almost similar to Doctor Doom in that aspect. And if this is done right, this could be one of the best MCU projects, period. Also, I always wanted more villain-centric movies and shows, and we don't know if he's really going to be a villain, an anti-hero, or just a villain that ended up on the X-Men. Again, we don't really know the direction they're going to take, but I think Marvel is going to do Magneto justice in a solo movie. So I can't wait.
So what I heard rumor wise is that with Magneto, they want to develop him kind of outside of the X-Men for a bit, and they want fans to fall in love with him as a character. So when he collides with the X-Men, there's already so much liberty, or I won't say liberty, but there's so much relationship built between Magneto.
People are attached to Magneto.
Yeah, because I don't think they want and
that's strategy, by the way.
Yes, and I also think they were doing this with Kang too. That they're like, yes, fans understand that he's evil, but they want fans to understand him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so the project that Denna Nerd said he heard was a Brotherhood movie, something like that. To kind of really secrete Mag and really talk about his, you know, his origin and really like encompass all that makes him who he is. And I really think that movie would be very successful. And as you said, not Doom. Magneto is a complex character, but actually, I don't even want to say that. I think Magneto is a very simplistic character, and I think that it isn't always the characters that are complicated that get all of the love. Captain America is not a complicated character. And that is why he is so loved, because everybody knows what his answer is going to be. Yeah. But when you're with a guy like Tony Stark, sometimes you don't know what way he's going to go. Just like Civil War, for someone that didn't read comics, I was shocked when he sided with the freaking government, because he's the one in Iron Man 2 that basically said "F you" when they tried to, you know, grab his suit up. So
the way I think about Civil War. Do you want to change the title? Because I'm just going to do it now. What I've always told you I want to do about Civil War.
Go ahead.
I feel like Civil War was kind of played out in real life. I think that the Superhero Registration Act was very similar to the COVID vaccine. You had Tony Stark's side, where a lot of people sided with the government and they believed that the Superhero Registration Act or the COVID vaccine was something that the country needed to protect citizens and keep people safe. And then you had other people who thought Captain America's side, who thought it was government overreach. And it wasn't about keeping people safe, and it was about control, profit, whatever. But I always saw the COVID vaccine as like a real life, it was almost like the Superhero Registration played out in real life. And it was like Captain America represented I think that's government overreach. And then you had the Tony Stark side where I think that we need this to protect citizens. And, I always wanted to say that. So, yeah, let me know what you think.
I like that idea. I mean, it does make a lot of sense.
Right?
Make a lot of sense. It does. It does. And it is awesome when it feels like it's those how like whenever something happens they post like a random Simpsons episode. That's how it feels.
Yeah. It's funny.
Well, yeah, bro. But nah, like
I hope it makes people think, like, because I think that there's a lot of people that may have sided with one side or the other. And I think that when you think about it that way, you might think differently. Because I think a lot of people sided with something in the movie, and then the real life version, they didn't necessarily side with the same side. And I think that's the interesting part.
Yeah, because it makes you reflect, right? Makes you reflect.
Yeah, it's easier to make the right decision when you're watching a movie and it's not real. A lot of things that happen in history that were wrong, people are always like, oh, well, how did that happen? No way people would sign up for that or whatever. And it's like, well, why do you think a lot of people did?
Yeah, because it's like it's easy to say that till you live through the time, and when your backs and this is why like people like us, like we've gotten as far as we are because we know what to do when our backs are pinned against the wall, right? But a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? No. And that's and
they're told, and
yeah, and that's very that's very like that in comics. But yeah, bro, I really do think that like with Captain America, he's a simple character, and same with Mag, and same with like Professor X, like where he's going to follow. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I am really excited, bro, for Magneto, and what I'm more excited for, bro, is the costume. I am excited for the costume as well.
I know you're pumped for the costume, but that's crazy. You're more excited for the costume than the movie?
What? Well, I'm with the costume in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm not more excited for the movie than, but Magneto, I think you can give him the best costume combinations ever. Like you really can. You give him some really good costumes, and like I do think Dr. Doom's suit is the goated suit right now that I've seen, well, at least in the concept art. But for a while, my goat was the Civil War Black Panther suit, and then before that, my goat was the Civil War Captain America suit. No, I'm sorry. It was the
Ultron.
Age of Ultron, the Age of Ultron Captain America suit, because that suit was fire, bro. Yeah. Another suit that is so fire, but the movie sucks. Thor: Love and Thunder. That gold and blue, and bro,
my favorite.
Bro, he had like 4 different suits, bro. And then remember the other suit he had with the fur, jack, but like the fur joint. That joint was fire.
I don't even remember, bro. That movie.
I'm about to show you. Thor, bro, and that's how you know when a movie's bad, it ruins everything.
Yeah.
First suit. Hold on, bro. I think you're gonna like this suit. Hold on, where's that? Yeah, this suit.
I just like silver more than gold. So like, I really liked Thor's suit in the first 2 Thor movies, and I think it kind of got worse from there. I think everything about Thor got worse from there, except for the Avengers movies.
I think this suit here is majorly slept on. And honestly, bro, Taika Waititi is I'm not gonna say it, but screw him for wasting this suit.
I can't even rewatch
Bro,
Love and
look
Thunder.
at this suit.
Rewatch Ragnarok.
Bro, look at this suit, bro. This suit got wasted.
Oh yeah, that one was hard.
Bro. Like they just wasted it. Bro, that's fire, bro.
Yeah, that is fire.
Wasted, bro.
Yeah. It's the second worst MCU movie ever. Right above the Marvels, which is the worst MCU movie.
Oh yeah. Thor Love and Thunder has so much missed potential. Exactly. You bring Christian Bale and you do that.
Yeah.
Shoot, man. They might as well they should have made him Kang at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine Christian Bale as Kang the Conqueror. Oh my god.
No.
That would have been nuts.
That would have been.
Oh god. So all right. We're going to end the show here, guys. Hope you guys had a good time catching up with us. I will be on for the Daredevil Born Again watch party, so we will be live for that. But other than that, guys, we hope you guys have a great week. And what I'm also going to start doing, which I thought of like earlier, is that so Comic Cuts does post his weekly pools, so I'm going to put those on our YouTube post, so you guys can actually see in our community post what his pools are. Because I like
comics I'm reading that are releasing that week.
Yeah, because what I really want to do is like personally, I really want to get you guys to read more comics. Because it has shifted my fandom in a really big way, and like Jerry could tell you, like my knowledge in this stuff has been growing so much because of comics, and it actually has like helped me because sometimes, guys, when movies suck, it sucks as a fan. But when you have comics that you can kind of run to and read, it keeps you full. You know what I mean? And that's what comics have been really doing for me, bro.
I always say it's like the MCU has limits, but like the comics universe never stops.
Exactly. So we hope you guys enjoy that. But videos every day, TikTok, all that stuff. So please watch, like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. And peace out.
Don't forget to subscribe if you like the show. It does help out a lot. So we appreciate those that do, and we appreciate you for watching along anyway.
One last thing, we do have memberships now. So we are rolling out a membership basically where if you guys do subscribe, I am going to do an extra live stream every Thursday. And that is where we are going to talk just about, because like a bunch of news drops during the week that we don't get to talk about. So we're going to be doing that, and some of those will be like movie reviews. We'll probably do some comic book deep dives and stuff like that. So you will also get a badge. So if you join, you will get a Superherocuts badge next to your name when you comment, and you get to choose to either have the Superherocuts logo or Superherocuts badge or the comic cuts badge. You know what I'm saying? So and that's gonna be like a little contest that we're gonna have to see who chooses what.
You got a little more fight in you, and you like that comics cut.
So we hope you guys have a great night, and peace out, y'all.